Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's tutorial, I will be sharing with you on how to solve problems on the law of sines. But before we continue, I want to first appreciate those of you that have subscribed to this channel and also encourage you to do same. Please subscribe to this channel, like the video, share the link with your friends, and click on the notification button. Thank you very much for your support. All right, let's get started. Now over here, we already have the formula for dealing with the law of sines, and the uppercase letters represent the angles while the lowercase letters represent the sides. So it's very important you understand this formula so you can engage it accordingly. All right, so now let's move on to some questions. Over here we have a question and it says find the value of x to the nearest 10. And you can see we are given the unknown side to be x, and there are no uppercase letters. All right, so all you have to do, just use your discretion to just write them. This is A, B, and C. All right, so the side opposite each of them, like this is A, the side just directly opposite. We have the lowercase. This is the lowercase, and the side directly opposite B has the lowercase b, and this is C. Okay, the side directly opposite C has the lowercase c. All right, so now since you have done that, you can just erase all this from here and erase all this from here. So as you can see, we are given two angles. This is one of the angle over here, and this is another angle. So if you look at it very well, you discover that angle B, the opposite is the unknown, which is x, and angle A, the opposite is 5. Okay, so whenever you have a question like this, it means you already have angle, angle, and a side. All right, you are given angle, angle, and a side. So all you have to do, just write down the formula. Sine A over lowercase a equal sine B over lowercase b. So sine A is 68. So sine 68 over lowercase, the lowercase is 5 equal sine B. The value of B is 50. So sine 50 over the lowercase of B is the unknown, which is x. All right, so at this point we can just cross multiply. You know, we have the x value to be this. Just cross multiply, use it to multiply the whole of this, and then take the 5 and multiply it with sine 50. Okay, so when you do that, the equation automatically becomes x times sine 68 will become x sine 68 equal 5 times sine 50 will become 5 sine 50. Remember, x is the unknown. So now we can divide both sides by sine 68 in order to isolate x. Sine 68. So when you do that, sine 68 is going to cancel out sine 68 from here. And now you can use your calculator to find the value of 5 sine 50 over sine 68. All right, so let's quickly do that. All right, so 5 sine 68 divided okay, 58 divided by sine 50 . Okay, so 5 sine 68 divided by sine 60, that gives us 0.6.0517. Okay, sorry, a little correction. Should be 5 sine 50 divided by sine 68. 68, and that gives us 4.1310277732. Okay. All right, so we got 4.1310277732. So to the nearest tenth is going to give us 4.1. And this is the final answer to this question. I hope it makes some sense. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, so we have another question and we are required to find the value of x. So now you can just label it the way you want, like A, B, and C. And remember, the uppercase letter A, the opposite is this, and this will be the lowercase. And the uppercase letter C, this is the opposite, and small letter or lowercase letter c. Okay, so those are the two things we are working with. We don't actually need that of B. Okay, so let's move on. So you can erase all this from here now since you've labeled it. Okay, so now we are working with A and C. So sine A over lowercase a equals sine C over lowercase c. So sine A will be sine 67. Remember that the uppercase letter is the angle, as you can see here, and the lowercase is the unknown, which is this, x equal sine C. The uppercase letter C, 73, so sine 73 over the lowercase is 8. Good. So at this point, we just have to cross multiply. Do you have the 8 here? Just use it to multiply the whole of this. And this, use it to multiply this. So when you do that, this will become 8 sine 67 is equal x sine 73. So since we are looking for the value of x, we have to divide both sides by sine 73. Okay, so now sine 73 is going to cancel out sine 73 from here. And now we can use our calculator to find this value. All right, let's quickly do that. Okay, so sine 8. So start with 8 sine 67 divided by sine 73. Okay, so that gives us 7.700514696. Okay, all right, so x is now equal 7.700514696. So to the nearest 10 to be 7.7, and this is now the final answer to this question. I hope this is clear. All right, so let's move on to the next one. All right, so we have another question, and still we are to find the value of x. All right, as usual, just label it A, B, and C. Okay, so uppercase letter A is this, and this is a lowercase a, and the uppercase letter B is this, and the lowercase is this. All right, so those are the two that are required for this question. So let's go on with them. After you've done that, now you can just clean up this. So this will be sine A over lowercase a equals sine B over lowercase b. All right, so now let's plug in the values. So sine uppercase A is 47. So this will be sine 47 degrees over lowercase a unknown, which is x, and that is equal. The uppercase B is 30. So sine 30 degrees over the lowercase b is 24. So at this point, we can just cross multiply. Use this now to multiply all of this, and use this to multiply this. So when that happens, the equation becomes 24 sine 47 degrees equal x sine 30 degrees. So now we can divide both sides by sine 30 degrees in order to isolate x. So this will be over sine 30 degrees sine 30 degrees. So now sine 30 degrees is going to cancel out sine 30 degrees. And now we can focus on this. So let's use the calculator to generate this value. All right, so 24 sine 47 divided by sine 30, and that gives us 35.10497768. All right, so let's switch over. All right, so x is now equal 35.10497776, and to the nearest 10, this will be equal 35.1. And this is the final answer to this question. I hope it makes some sense. All right, let's move on. All right, so over here we have another question. Find the value of x to the nearest tenth. And if you look at this question carefully, is a bit different from the ones that we have been doing. In this question, the given side is in between the two angles, which is different from what we have been doing. So in this case, the angle opposite the given side is not given. You can see it's empty. So whenever you have this kind of question, this is what we know as angle, side, angle. All right, so this is what we are dealing with in this time. And first, remember, we have to label the side. So let this be A, B, and C. Okay, so first we need to recognize that we need the angle opposite the side, which is missing. This angle is missing. So in order to find this angle, we have to add up the sum of the angle of a triangle. So it means that upper letter C plus 73 degrees plus 51 degrees is equal 180 degrees, because the sum of the angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So let's add up this together. So that will become 124 equal 180 degrees. So at this point, we can subtract 124 from both sides. Subtract 124 from both sides. So this is going to cancel out, and this will become 5 degrees. Okay, so it means that C, the upper letter C, is 56 degrees. All right, so we can go back now and just plug it in, plug the value in. So this is 56 degrees. Okay, so at this point we can now find the unknown. All right, so now the upper letter A has the opposite lower letter A to be X, and upper letter C has a lower case to be 32. So now we can use the formula sine A over lowercase of a equals sine c over lowercase of c. And let's plug in the values. So sine 51 over x is equal sine 56 degrees over 32. All right, so now we can cross multiply, use this to multiply this, and this to multiply this. So when you do that, the equation becomes 32 sine 51 degrees equal x sine 56 degrees. So now we can isolate x by dividing both sides by 56 by sine 56 degrees sine 56 degrees. So now sine 56 degrees will be cancelled out. So now we can find this value using our calculator. Right, so 32 sine 51 divided by sine 56, and that gives us 29.99703703. Okay, so this will be equal, x will be equal 29.99703 to the nearest 10. It will be 29 point. Okay, so automatically this is gonna give us 30.0. All right, so that is it for this question. Okay, so let's move on to another question. All right, this question is also similar to the one we just did. You can see that the given side is in between the two angles, this and this, and the angle opposite the given side is not available. So first we have to find that. Okay, so let's label the angle. Label this is A, B, and C. All right, so it means that C is absent. So let's find the value of uppercase C by doing C plus 29 plus 73 degrees equal 180 degrees. So now let's add this together. C plus, so 3 plus 9, that's going to give you 12. And plus 7, 8, 10. So this is 102 degrees is equal 180 degrees. So now let's subtract 102 degrees from both sides. 102, sorry, 102. Okay, so when you do that, 102 minus 102 we cancel out, and if you subtract this, it's going to give you 78 degrees. All right, so this is the value of the uppercase C. All right, so now let's just substitute that value into the given shape. So this is now 78 degrees, and it's the capital letter C. All right. All right, so now we see we have angle A and the side opposite. Lowercase a is X, and this is C, and the given side lowercase is 4. So now we can apply the formula. Sine sine A over lowercase a equals sine C over the lowercase. And now let's plug in the value. Sine A is equal to 29. So this will be sine 29 degrees over the lowercase is the unknown, which is X, equals sine C 78 degrees over the lowercase is 4. So at this point, we can just cross multiply. Use this to multiply the whole of this, and use the X to multiply the whole of this. So when you do that, the equation will become 4 sine 29 degrees. This is 29 degrees is equal X sine 78 degrees. So now we can isolate X by dividing both sides by sine 78 degrees. Sine 78 degrees. So now sine 78 degrees, we cancel out sine 78 degrees, and we can now use a calculator to generate this. Okay, so let's quickly do that. All right, so we have 4 sine 29 divided by sine 78, and that gives us 1.98256222. All right, so that is the value for this division. All right, so X is equal 1.98256222 and 2. So to the nearest tenth, this will be 2.0. Okay, so this is your final answer to this question. All right, I hope it makes some sense. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so in this question, we are also dealing with the same pattern of question where you have the given side to be in between the two given angles. All right, and the angles directly opposite the given side is absent or unavailable. So now we have to find this angle, and before we do that, let's just quickly label this to be A, B, and C. Okay, so this will be C plus 180 degrees plus 39 degrees equal 180 degrees. So this will be C plus 8 plus 9 is 17. So you write down 7, carry 1, 4, 5, and 157 degrees equal 180 degrees. So now let's subtract 157 degrees from both sides. 157 degrees. So when you do that, this will cancel out, and 10 take away 7, that will be 3, and this will be 23 degrees. So C is equal 23 degrees, and we can just plug in the value. So it means that this given side, this side, upper letter C is 23 degrees. Okay. All right, so let's quickly put down our the formula for this, and the side A is given and the opposite. This is the upper lowercase a, and this is C, and the lowercase is 12. Lowercase is 12. C. All right, so we are also using the formula of sine A over lowercase a is equal sine C over the lowercase c. So let's plug in the values. So sine A will be sine 39 over the unknown x is equal sine 23 degrees over 12. So at this point, we have to cross multiply. Use this to multiply the whole of this, and use this to multiply this. So when you do that, equation becomes 12 sine 39 degrees equal x sine 23 degrees. So now we have to isolate x by dividing both sides by sine 23 degrees, sine 23 degrees. So when you do that, this we cancel this from here, and now we can use a calculator to generate this. Okay. All right, so this will be 12 sine 39 divided by sine 23. And that gives us 19.39747,135. All right, so x is equal 19.32747,135, and to the nearest tenth, this will be 19.3. So this is now the final answer to this question. I hope it makes some sense to you. All right, so this is all you'll be able to take for today. In our next video, we'll be working on SAS, and that's going to be the law of cosine. Okay, SAS and SSS. Okay, so If you find this video useful, please subscribe to the channel if you have not yet done so. Like the video, please. Share the link with your friends and also click on the notification button. Thank you very much for your support. I'm looking forward to seeing you in our next video. Bye bye.